Well, you guys, I finished the challenge. 30 days with Kiara LaShae, the Tabata challenge, and my results, as you can see. Yes. I wasn't really worried about pounds, so I actually went down to dress size, which is amazing. I am now back into a medium. Yes. So in October, she's going to be doing another challenge where you can sign up. So hit the link down below and sign up for the next Kiara LaShae Trap and Tone Challenge in October. And don't forget about the tea, y'all. The tea really aided in the look, okay? If you think it happened in a month, all because I was working out, no. It's also because of the tea. Sometimes I still ate pizza. But yay! Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue and I am back for another Love and Marriage Huntsville review. Before we get into the actual episode, I have a little tea. So, I don't know if y'all know, but we talked about it on my Instagram live and on the session last night with the members. I don't know if I told y'all, I delete them when they're done. So if y'all don't be there for it, then you're not gonna be there for it. So I will try to make sure I do it either on Friday or Saturday next week. I'll be free, so it'll happen one of those days. And I'll let y'all know ahead of time, more ahead of time, so that y'all will know. But usually it's like around 8 or 9 o'clock on Fridays or Saturdays. So, just know that, be looking for me. But it'll happen next week as well for everybody that missed the session this week, okay? But I talked about how Marceau's other woman has so-called been revealed. And the person that it was supposed to be is Tisha and Mel's hairdresser, who is also Martell's cousin. Okay, now that's what everybody was telling us. It was specifically coming from Straight No Chaser. I think that's what the blog site was. Okay, and the original Straight No Chaser on their Instagram, which I just started following, they have been posting that Melody is the one that puts all of this out, that she runs a Facebook group called Straight No Chaser, her minions per their words, and they put out stories about Tisha and Marceau and their family. And one of the stories that they did put out was this story about the hairdresser being Marceau's mistress. Now, the cheatation, from what I heard, allegedly happened 10 years ago. Tisha swears up and down that nothing has ever happened. So either it's happening now or was happening before it happened. And she says that nothing like this has happened. So when you link that with some of the conversations that were had this episode, here's my thing. I watched the Scott's video and they were very upset, justifiably so. Okay, but my whole thing is, y'all have all been slinging mud at each other this entire time. And what I don't like is that Tisha and Marceau like to do a lot of playing the victim and acting as if they have not done some of the same things that they're accusing Melody and Martell of, or Melody specifically. I feel like, yes, Mel is very messy when it comes to a lot of this stuff. Okay, I probably wouldn't do a lot of the petty stuff that I see happening on this show, but that is why I am not on a reality show. And this is what petty people should be on reality shows. So we can guffaw and kiki over it at the end of the day, okay? But what I don't appreciate about the Scotts is the grandstanding and acting like, y'all are above this and they're trying to tear down y'all's marriage as if y'all have not thrown their drama in their face. It's just that not everybody knows y'all's drama. Everybody knows their drama. But at the end of the day, if y'all little circle knows it, then people know it. Just because the public doesn't know it doesn't mean it's not out there. And to me, based off of this episode, people know that Marceau has done whatever he's done. And I don't think it's with this girl. It may be, it may not be. Honestly, I don't know. And until we get some pictures and some real information, it is what it is. They say that it's not true. She said it's not true. They said it's not true. It's not true. I'm fine with that. I can believe Tisha and Marceau and the young lady, the young woman, whatever. She 30, in her mid-30s, grown-ass woman, whatever. She looks very young, which is a blessing. Okay, like myself. But if she says it's not true, then it's not true. That is fine with me. However, just because I don't think it's this person with these, facts does not mean I don't think it hasn't happened at all. I think something definitely has happened because all they do is give all of the underlying for the cheatation. okay, this episode, and we're gonna get into it. So Maurice and Marsau start off the episode playing pool, and they talk. Marsau talks about how he feels like he's doing this construction business by himself. He does not feel like Tisha really wants to be involved. He doesn't feel like she's actually helping him. He feels like he's doing it all by himself, and he doesn't know if she's really serious about it. Maurice says, well, you know, she's done a lot of work to say that she's somebody who's not serious about it. And he says, well, she also puts a lot of work into her podcast. And this is when the thing went off for me. What registers is the same thing that's happening with Melody and Martell. You guys are so intimidated by your wives doing things that help them flourish singularly. Things that make y'all look good together, things that make you look good singularly, those things are great. But whenever Tisha or Mel decide to start branching out and doing things that showcase just them as a woman by themselves, how great they are, their men start to have issue with that. Because they're insecure. Like that to me, that's just the truth of the matter. Marsau has been trying to stop Tisha from working this entire time. And you pretend as if you're, you know, supportive, or you're pretending as if you're not supportive. Either way, you're putting on for the show, whichever one it is. But to me, when you keep saying that she has not helped you with the business, well, that wasn't the conversation in the Facebook group. That wasn't the conversation last season when you were talking about all the businesses and all of the construction and buildings that Tisha owns, and now all of a sudden she's not really interested in real estate and construction. Now she's more interested in the podcast. No, to me, it just sounds like something that's separate from you is an issue. And so that's why this episode, I think, it wasn't even just because of Mel and them. It was also because she wanted to bring more attention to him and to their marriage on her podcast in order to make him feel like it was something else that was them and not just her, because whenever it's just her, it's an issue for him, okay? And to me, that's just what it seems like, okay? He talks about how he has, you know, another apartment building and a complex and, you know, a commercial area, all of this work he has that he has to get done, and he's just added Destiny's Project, which is supposed to be done on May 1st on top of that. So he has a lot to get done. Maurice talks about feeling the same way about Kimmy, not wanting to pressure her, but wanting her to be happy and excited about whatever she's doing in her career when she gets up in the morning. And I'm having a real misunderstanding of what's happening here, because when did Kimmy express that she didn't want to be a nurse anymore? Because to me, it seems like you've just been pushing this entire time for her to do real estate. The whole time, I feel like she's been saying she wants to continue to be a nurse. She wants to continue to do the job that she's been doing this entire time. You are the one that keeps pressing that she should do real estate and she should, you know, become a part of your business. And to me, honestly, I feel like that is also the women can, you know, take attention away from things that are just for them and make their lives more centered around their husbands. If the business is also, you know, the husband, then their attentions can't really, you know, be taken away from the husband. Not really. And not from whatever the husband's goal is. So to me, I'm noticing that. Like, it seems as if, you know, the brothers have a plan to get their women, you know, only focused on their business goals so that they don't pay attention to their own. There also was some conversation about Kimmy possibly taking Maurice's sister Mimi's job or working with them. I don't know, but either way, Marsau felt like it would cause issue with Mimi and it would cause issue with Kimmy. So talk to Kimmy about it before you do it. You know, you don't want to do what you did last time when you make decisions without talking to her. We see how that worked out. I feel like everybody gives great advice but doesn't know how to take it. Then we see Tisha do a radio interview to promote the marriage podcast. And Tisha actually mentions during the interview that the only reason she's still married is because they had a child early on, because otherwise they would have stopped fighting for the marriage. And that happens a lot these days. People just don't fight for marriages the way they used to. And I feel like that's a good thing and a bad thing. I feel like there is a level of just because it's hard doesn't mean that you should give up type of thing with marriage. But there is also the good part about it is nobody should be in a relationship in which they're completely unhappy all the time, no matter what they do, just to stay in a marriage. Nobody should have to go through that. So I feel like it's really good nowadays that people don't stay in marriages like they used to, because people used to stay in marriages until it killed them back in the day. And they still do these days, but hopefully not nearly as much. Martell is being Mr. Mom at the house when Melody comes in, you know, from some business meeting. And he was like, oh, baby, you didn't bring me nothing to eat. You know, like off Martin. And of course, once again, we're talking about how he's concerned about her schedule and how, you know, he's having to pick up the slack. And she's like, I really don't understand why you can't pick up a little bit of the slack. I do all of this all the time. Like, and see, that's the thing that works on my nerves. He continues to talk to her about how she, you know, should have been home to cook dinner instead of whatever she was doing. And she was like, why can't you figure out what, you know, what we can eat? Or to me, if you wanted her to pick up something to eat, why you ain't call her before she got home and ask her to bring something to eat? You're just creating unnecessary problems in your relationship when you think people are supposed to be reading your damn mind, talking about, I hope mommy's coming home with food. Call her and ask her, or figure it out for yourself. I tell y'all, I didn't grow up like this, where men assign their manhood to not doing shit. Like, I didn't grow up like this. Like, okay? Men in my family are supposed to know how to cook and clean up after their damn selves. Okay, you are not supposed to always expect your wife to cook every damn meal. And she had to remind him how she cooks breakfast every morning. Don't sit up here and act like I'm not here, a part of the process every day. But if you got off earlier than me and I was out somewhere later, you knew I was going to be out later, get the damn food yourself. You not getting food. You up here got you and the kids hungry off principle because you feel like I'm the one that's supposed to be cooking and doing food thing all the damn time. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. We should all take turns in this shit sometimes. Everybody shouldn't have to do everything all the damn time. That's just ridiculous. We're supposed to be together forever. I'm not supposed to expect you to, you know, take the trash out every damn day no matter what. Sometimes I take the trash out. Sometimes I do. Okay? I don't like to, especially not with this trash can, because that shit be so heavy. So it's just kind of like, let him do it. But as far as like laundry, dishes, sweeping, mopping, cooking, we take turns, okay? I'm tired, you do it. You tired, I'll do it. Like, that's how this works. So all of this, one person is always supposed to do this shit all the time. Like, that's just ridiculous to me. The only thing we're supposed to do is stay black and die. And you see how some people still don't want to stay black even though they still die. But she reminds him that she's doing something to benefit their family. Her, you know, doing all of these things is bringing more to their brand, bringing more to her makeup and breaks line, bringing more to them, period, okay? And he takes this as a jab, like he's not doing anything. And she's like, I'm not saying you're not doing anything, but don't devalue what I'm bringing to the table. And he's like, well, you should have said it like that from the beginning. And she was just like, bro, whatever. But he feels like his back is up against the wall because he's having to do, I guess, all the stuff that she was doing while he was out cheating. Kimmy meets with Millie. Was I saying Mimi instead of Millie, y'all? I'm sorry. The sister's name is Millie. So Maurice's sister, Millie, and Kimmy talk about the business and how busy Maurice is with taking the bar, I believe. But they're also talking about Kiowa and how Maurice thinks it's okay to make decisions about their son without informing Kiowa. And Kimmy, being a single mom who has raised her son on her own, she feels as if she has a special understanding of this situation, and Monster misses his mom, and he does not need to be without his mom 24/7 in order to be a strong black man. It's really obnoxious that, you know, you even put that out there when your wife had to raise her son on, you know, her own. So you're trying to say her son isn't a man because his pa wasn't around? Like, y'all, I was for Maurice having majority of, you know, the time with the child at this point as well, and understand how he feels about it. But this whole idea that he's never supposed to spend the night over by his mom's house is just ridiculous to me, and I don't care what anybody says. A lot of y'all think that this is because Kimmy doesn't want to have to do everything all of the time. And even if that is the case, so the hell what? Feeling as if I am a stepmom, but this boy has a mama, so let his mama partake in some of this if she is close by? That makes perfect sense to me. Mel goes to do a table read for the play. It's very salacious. It's very entertaining. Martell is not a fan. He does not want her to do the play. She is going to do the play anyway, and she hopes that he will support her. He feels like it's going to draw attention back to his cheatation, and they just got through all of that. And she was kind of like, what did you go through? You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to check me about how I'm dealing with what you did to us, okay? You, at the end of the day, okay? So y'all, Tisha has her podcast, and somebody please tell me what the M and the B were for. Is it for marriage boot camp? What was it for? But I did think that it was awfully similar to the Embrace logo. And Mel brought attention to how their logos were very similar. Y'all can say what y'all want to, but I feel like we have seen this girl, sip from Mel's faucet, so to speak. And, just took an intellectual property in one way or another and recycled it as her own. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's the way you go about things. But when you take things from somebody so blatant as the font, you took the font. The M was exactly the same. The B was cursive. I didn't know what the M and the B stood for. Embrace Beauty makes sense to me. What the hell does MB stand for in Tisha Scott's podcast? What is it, Mommy something? It must be whatever the podcast name is, y'all. But the font being so similar, I don't care what nobody say. I feel like it speaks volumes of how Tisha takes from Mel in all of these different ways, and then, tries to down her for being extra and all of that, which is Mel's main issue with Tisha. But either way, when Miss Wanda noticed Mel come in, she was so upset. I don't know why she invited her to this event, but I'm going to let Tisha shine as much as I can. And I was just like, please, Miss Wanda, let your daughter shine. This is about Tisha. This is not about their beef. She invited Melody to the event. Okay, or the event, as Tisha would say. That's why she pronounced that E in event so damn hard, to the event. I said, bitch, is it online? Because the way she pronounces E, like an Evite, like, I'm sorry, y'all. But, she kills me when she put that extra E on the event, okay? But Marceau was a little late, but he did show up, and he is supposed to be there. So it would have been ridiculous if he wasn't, seeing as though this is a marriage, podcast panel type of situation. Martell is not checking for the Scotts, so he did not show up with Mel. The first question they talk about is, if God gives men the vision for the family, as if God does not communicate with the woman of the family. And what's his name? LeBaric and Destiny are in the crowd sitting next to Mel, and LeBaric is like, it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. I'm like, it's also in the Bible not to cut your hair and not to wear, two different types of cloths. Like, don't mix your linen with your polyester. But either way, I was just kind of like, why is he saying it as if, because it's in the Bible, he doesn't understand why anybody could have an issue with that? It's like saying that God only talks to men. That is the dumbest shit I have ever heard. And that is not even in the Bible, since God saw and spoke to Mary Magdalene and his mother first after he came back from the dead. So, but whatever. It was the women who went to his crypt, or whatever you want, his tomb. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like, child, okay, whatever you say. Then they bring up what power couple means to everyone. And LeBaric is like, Mel, won't you say something? And Mel says, no, I'm not on the panel. But she mentions in the confessional the logo and how many other things she feels as if Tisha has stolen from her. Someone asked if cheating is a deal breaker, and Maurice says it can be. So Darek says, if you sleep with a man on vacation that I don't know, we can get over that. But cheating with somebody I know that, is in my community and people gonna know, an embarrassment, then you're dealing with male pride. And I'm just like, oh God, as if y'all pride is, on a higher level than women's pride. Like, child, please. Ego is ego. We all have ego. Y'all just have so much more of it. I think that was stupid what he said, though, and I think that's foolishness. I don't think any of these men really feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because Marceau was like, just don't let me find out. Like, just don't tell me. And Maurice feels as if it's something that people can get over. And Kimmy was like, the only reason I decided to marry him is because cheating was a deal breaker. I'm not playing that. I am not Melody. We are not going to move on like Maya after you cheat on me. And I feel like different strokes for different folks. She's entitled to feel that way, and if that's a deal breaker for her, that's a deal breaker for her. Period. Mel says that she thinks Marceau was just laying the groundwork for when his mess comes out, which makes sense if Mel is behind the secret page that now this information comes out, within the same week as this episode. After, Mel gives Tisha an olive branch, and Tisha feels hopeful that it's the end of the drama. It is not. Destiny talks to Marceau about if her project can be finished on time. And he says if he gets everything he needs, then it is more likely to get done by May 1st. So she says she will send over the blueprints in 2 days, and they can, get this popping and get this done. Miss Wanda goes over to Mel to confront her about kicking Tisha out of her event. Why are you here? Okay, you kicked Tisha out of your event. And Kimmy was like, oh, Miss Wanda, why are you doing this? You so extra. And Wanda is like, well, you was a part of it. You want to join in on this conversation too? Okay, because I know that you was, all for Mel and everything. And or something she said. And Kimmy was like, that's not how I felt. Don't tell me how I felt. She walks away before she cursed Miss Wanda ass out. Okay. And then Miss Wanda turns to Mel and says that she needs to be mad at her husband because it's all his fault, seeing as though she and Tisha were friends before all of his mess came out. Then she asked her why she was at the events again, considering she threw Tisha out. And Mel was like, well, I threw Tisha out because she was not invited to my event, okay? And I'm here because she invited me, okay? All right. And then she says, I just want to know why you don't like Tisha. And Mel was like, if I didn't like Tisha, I wouldn't be here. And she was like, oh, well, that's nice. And look, Mel was like, no, I don't do fake. Okay. I'm just telling you what the truth of the matter is. And you know what? I have a mother and I understand where you're coming from, Miss Wanda, but I'm just gonna, I'm gonna respectfully take myself out of this conversation. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Wanda. You have a nice day. I was like, Mel, I take my hat off to you, ma'am, because that was very classy and that was the best way possible to handle an elder who's acting like, they ain't got no sense. And see, this is the reason why we have this next scene with Kimmy and Tisha, where Tisha feels like it's time for her and her pink fedora to check Kimmy for not being loyal and having her back when it came to the situation with Mel at the reunion and all of this, feeling like she was by herself. And you feel this way because your mom does the most. You are a grown-ass woman, and your mom should not be going around to every other grown-ass woman that you may have an issue with to fight on your behalf. Like, this is unnecessary and childish. So, yeah, Tisha, you have obviously put the battery in Wanda's back for the reason why she feels it's okay to go around doing this to everybody at your event. Okay? Like, I really do think that she tells her mom these things, and then her mom fights her battles for her, and she gets to act like, it wasn't her. Because obviously you had issue with Kimmy and you didn't say anything, but you let your mom do all of the talking for you. Kimmy tells her that, I don't want to disrespect your mama, but if she come at me like that again, I might curse her ass out, okay? Tisha says that, I know my mom may not handle things in the right way, but she's defending me, and I felt like you didn't have my back at the reunion. And I just feel like the person that you really should be having this conversation with is your husband. He was supposed to have your back, and he didn't, because he was too scared for Mel and Martell to spill the tea on him to everybody. So he was trying to get you to shut up so y'all business wouldn't get put out on Front Street. And you trying so hard to grandstand because you feel embarrassed, and you fighting so hard to be right. Okay, like, let's just be honest about it, Tisha. Okay, yes, Mel is very dirty. Mel could be doing all of the shit y'all say she doing behind the scenes, playing dirty, being messy. But bitch, you just as messy, and y'all do dirty shit behind the scenes too. Okay, and that's all I'm saying. That is mutual, and we not about to act like Mel is bullying you when you do the same thing. Y'all do the same thing. That shit that Marceau said about her mom. Come on now, y'all. We can say a lot of things, but you insinuating that my, 60-something-year-old mom has a sex tape out there is just a lot. Even if she does, the public don't need to know that. And you put that out there, Marceau, when her mom didn't have anything to do with any of this. So I feel like everybody has played dirty. Just like Kimmy brought up how when they were at the reunion, Tisha put it out there that Martell called Marceau and asked Kim if Mel tried to sleep with him, which was ridiculous. Okay, but obviously that's a conversation that happened. But either way, you put that out there to hurt Mel and to embarrass her, just like she put shit out to hurt you and embarrass you and your husband. So to me, I feel like everybody has done mudslinging, and now Kimmy is saying, I, don't want to be involved. I don't want to be in the middle. And Tisha is saying, this is what I need from you, okay? You are my family. You're supposed to be my friend, my sister. You're supposed to have my back over Mel's, okay? And Kimmy is like, look, at the end of the day, I am not going to defend something that I don't agree with just because you're going to call me disloyal, okay? And what she's saying is, I can't say that Marceau didn't cheat. I can't turn around and call Mel a liar because I don't know that. The last time I was trying to check Mel or have y'all back, Marceau told me I was wrong. And she was like, well, that was the business. It's like, it doesn't even matter. Whatever it was about, I was in defending your ass mode, and your husband told me I was wrong. So from now on, I'm going to stay the hell up out of it. Y'all can argue and have y'all beef, and I'm going to sit over here and eat my food. And I told you I wasn't going to have your back at the reunion, and I was going to be impartial. So I don't know why you acting surprised now. But Tisha feels like, well, I've, told you how I felt. And she says, and I will put it into consideration. I'll think that over or whatever. And she was like, well, I hope you, hold it to high consideration or whatever she said. But it was kind of sort of, like, well, you better, you better care about how I feel about this. And Kimmy was like, I really feel like you only seeing your side of it. And she was like, so what? Okay, I just don't want to feel like I'm alone when you standing next to me. And Tisha, at the end of the day, I do understand where you coming from, but you have got to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet when you going to do dirt. Or when you want to stand in a lie or stand in some bullshit. When you want to stand in some bullshit, you're going to have to stand in that bullshit by yourself. But you can't expect people to jump on the bandwagon when they probably know for a fact that the shit is a lie. Okay? And this is why I think that something actually did happen with Marceau, whether it was with the hairstylist or somebody else, but something happened because people noticed something happened. Kimmy, Maurice, Martell, Melody, everybody knows that something happened with Marceau and some other woman. And Tisha has denial blinders on, trying to argue people down about some shit that she know is probably not 100% on the up and up. You know what I'm saying? And you want people to dive on this, sinking ship with you. And Kimmy is just like, I'm not going to do that. I love you, but that doesn't mean I have to go along with some shit I don't agree with. Period. So yeah, y'all, very interesting. All of it, very interesting. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.